Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I covered a bunch of levels that I found in the Mega Maker official forum's level sharing subforum. So in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 levels that I found in the Mega Maker official subreddit's weekly level sharing thread for August 6th to August 12th. Or rather, that's what the title says, but in reality, I'm going to be playing a bunch of levels that are past this date, mainly because the moderator forgot to post a new edition of this thread. So let's start out with this one, which is The Icy Mountains by The Biggest Potato, 14 plays and a score of 2. And as usual, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part, please leave the name of the level or the ID of the level in a comment below, or direct message me on Twitter. And also, the disclaimer for this entire LP is linked in the description below. So here we are in the Icy Mountains. We are jumping over a bottomless pit, it seems, and we only have access to the Metal Blade, so this is a gimmick-based stage, I suppose, focused on using the Metal Blade. And like I said in many parts before, I'm going to be treating different types of stages differently. Like, I'll be treating and grading and critiquing a classic Mega Man stage, or rather a traditional Mega Man stage, differently than a special weapon stage like this one. Like here, I'm going to be treating it based off of how well it actually uses the gimmicks, or how well it utilizes Metal Blade's characteristics. A few tight jumps here, but it's nothing too bad. I gotta be a bit careful that the platform doesn't dissipate below me, then I'll just fall in the abyss. Of course, some of these enemies are a little bit tough to kill, especially stuff like the Picket Men, so we gotta be careful in that regard. Thank you for putting a checkpoint right over here. The toss head looks a bit broken here, but it may be just me. Can I kill the button mashing, please? Good, I was able to kill the big eye somehow. I wonder, is there a secret here? No, I saw an E-tank on the right, so maybe that's the direction I need to go. I think we have a split path here. A little bit of a tight jump, and I failed it completely. Well, there's a checkpoint right over there, so I don't mind it too much. Thank you for putting the checkpoint over here. Good checkpoint placement. I made it jump a little bit too high over there, but it isn't too frustrating just yet. If I fail it again this time, I'll just skip this challenge entirely and go forward on the left route. Might as well. I don't think I really need to use E-tanks for this upcoming boss fight. The stage isn't so tough that I really need to use it. Darn, if I was just on the edge of that block, I would have made it. I'm just gonna ignore it now, I don't need it. I'm just also going to damage boost off of that. Using the Metal Blade with infinite weapon energy makes it a lot more useful and powerful. It was already rather broken in Mega Man 2, and this makes it even more broken. I guess there's something on the right side, so I better check it out. Yep, there is no, there's nothing there, it's just the dead end. I was suspecting that there would be an alternate pathway over there. It was just so suspicious. Even with the Metal Blades, these Picket Men are already really annoying, mainly due to their random firing arc and the fact that the number of shots or number of pickets they throw is random too. And of course, they're shielded enemies. It makes it more annoying compared to the Sniper Joes, actually. And of course, the Metal Blades take a lot of... You need to use a lot of Metal Blades if you want to actually destroy them, too. Almost got him. Oh, I should have waited for that to go up a little bit more. I was being a little bit too hasty there. Alright, I made it. It took 36 attempts to get across this. Based off this alone, I'm giving this stage a thumbs down. That jump over there is too precise and requires too much timing in order to get it across. It wasn't properly taught in the earlier parts of the stage. Even with those jumps, they were a lot more forgiving. This one, not so much, especially with the ceilings. I'm sorry, this destroyed the fun of this stage. I'm sorry, it's not appealing to me anymore. I'll at least try getting to the end of the stage. At least there's a checkpoint right over there, too. So the developer knew players could get potentially stuck. So I'm gonna restart at the nearest checkpoint over here. But I'm sorry, that one segment alone where I had to jump over there and those two blocks really destroyed the fun for the stage. I can't really in good faith give this a thumbs up. If that was modded so it could be, or changed so that the jump wasn't so precise, I would like it more, but right now, it doesn't feel fun. I like the challenges here where you have to keep dodging all of these picket men and positioning yourself right, but those jumps earlier, don't like them at all. This is also one of those situations where I wish Mega Maker actually put a difficulty selection option, or actually showed how many times players failed missions. And stuff like that I'm going to blame the engine for that. At least this is fine, but I'm worried about the next challenge like the previous one. If there's another one like this, I'm going to end the stage prematurely. There are much more fun stages I can play later on, and I'd rather not waste all my energy on this one. After 24 more attempts, I made it to this room. That last jump over there, especially with the engine glitchiness, that was so much of a pain to do. That, combined with the previous segment I have repeatedly mentioned, really destroyed the stage for me and made this give me a thumbs down. I'm sorry, this is one of the least fun stages I've ever played in Mega Maker. One of the worst in terms of fun, if you were to ask me. At least we have the fight against Bomb Man, which isn't too bad. It's just that we have a lot of these beaks, but he's weak against the Metal Blade, so it's just positioning yourself properly. And he's a cinch. Much easier than the previous parts of the stage. To reiterate, which I keep mentioning over and over, the main problem with this stage is that the precision of those jumps is a little bit too precise, and combined with this engine's hitboxes can result in issues reaching your target. I had to play through this stage at least 5 or 6 dozen times, most of them being failed attempts. If I look at my recording time right now, I spent over 20 minutes on this stage, whereas you viewers are probably seeing only 5 or 7 minutes of it. It was a pain to do, and it was a chore to play through, and repeating segments over and over wasn't fun. If the jumps were less precise, I would have liked the stage more, but right now it was such a frustrating slog. One of the least fun stages I've ever played in my 23 parts of this Mega Maker LP. So sorry, Biggest Potato, I'll give this a thumbs down. This was not fun at all for me to play through. Now, moving on to the next stage, which hopefully will be more fun. Escape the Submerged Cavern by Lizard Commando, 21 plays and a score of 6. This is definitely going to be more fun. This is, I believe, the sequel to the Submerged Cavern stage, also by Lizard Commando. So now, we've defeated Stone Man from the previous time we went to the Submerged Cavern, so it caused a cave-in. Now we have to go through the stage backwards of sorts, or in reverse aesthetic order to escape. And we have the same weapons as before. No Mega Buster though, but at least we have sliding. Hopefully I have enough energy left over, especially after the frustration of the previous stage. Sorry if I'm saying a bit too harsh for the previous stage, but as I said, it just didn't feel fun. It felt worse than many of the other stages I played, even the low effort ones. It's just that the precision involved doesn't really appeal to me. I remember this segment with all the junk blocks and sliding on the falling platforms. We have to be a bit careful here. There should be some hotheads nearby. Oh, there were no hotheads, so it's a little bit easier. And now we have Yoku blocks. How fun. Wait a minute. Didn't make it high enough. Oh no, I didn't time it right. If only I had the skull barrier here. Actually, this wasn't too bad of a Yoku Block segment, so I won't mind it. Oh, after just having to destroy dozens of gumball machines, it feels so satisfying to just destroy one of them here. Ah, and this is where the pathways link up. Let me restart the stage and take the other pathway. At least see what it has to offer too. I'm just gonna ignore you, Hammer Joe. Oh, okay, there was a checkpoint right over there. Another one of these falling platform segments with all the Shadow Man platforms too. And here's where the pathways link up. If I took the bottom pathway, I would have gotten an extra E-Tank, which seems to have maintained itself even though I restarted the stage. Okay then. I was expecting there to be something to be over there. Okay, now we finished the falling platform segment, we're going reverse, now we have the next water segment. I probably should be using stuff like the Firestorm more often. Oh, wow. I see spikes over there. Gotta be careful not to jump too high, or use the top spin by accident. It looks a lot harder than it seems, in reality you just need to be careful. Okay, now we have the reverse spike drop segment. In the previous stage... Oh wow, a little bit of tight jumping here. In the original stage we had to fall down these spikes, but now we have to go up these with the tops. Good checkpoint placement. Both stages I played, the first one and the second one, did have good checkpoint placement, it's just the first one I didn't really like the challenge placement, or challenge structuring. Ah, and we're out of there. Now we're in the base, I suppose. Pharaohman's base. Ah yes, we teleported out of that area, the submerged cavern, and now we're fighting Pharaohman himself. Nope, he's completely immune to that. Rolling Cutter, of course, the most awkward weapon to hit him with. And that was the end of Escape the Submerged Cavern. Pretty fun stage, although I think I like Submerged Cavern more. I do like how we do the challenges of Submerged Cavern in reverse for Escape the Submerged Cavern, although it was kind of remixed in a way. So good job, Lizard Commando. I'll definitely give this a thumbs up. Third level on today's lineup is Industrial Tower by Melvin8D, 7 plays and a score of 4. Let's hope that it's more along the quality and difficulty levels of Escape the Submerged Cavern. In the original Reddit thread it was called Industrial Canyon, so maybe there was a mistake somewhere. So we need to climb... I suppose it's going to be a mostly vertical stage like Elecman stage in Mega Man 1, where we need to climb this industrial tower. Oh wow. I thought I was going to die over there for getting hit by the spikes. Oh, Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shot. Also, nice rainbow ladder. Although, the rainbow ladder would have been better if the tiles had a more consistent unified team, because the ladder pieces are a little bit inconsistently sized. Well, the second, third, and fourth from the bottom look relatively close enough that they could match, but the rest look a bit off, especially the topmost one and the bottommost one. Still, I appreciate the effort. And they all work as ladders, so there's no problems there. Nothing too bad yet. That's some odd spike placement there. I do like the usage of many different colored enemies combined with the backgrounds here. It really adds some color to the stage and variety. I'm not sure why there's a ladder. There's a part of the stage down here. There are no invisible blocks in this engine after all. I mean, there are no blocks in this engine where you can make them look like they're solid, but in reality they're not. So, I don't know what's that for then. I swear there's something on the right. You know what, I'm gonna backtrack over there and get to the door. And then I'll re-enter to the right side of the stage, see what it has to offer. Oh, Cutman. I suppose the right side, it leads to a different part of the stage. Oh, for some reason I can't dodge this. Oh, he's starting to jump now. And I defeated Cutman. That was a rather short stage. Although I suppose if I took the rightmost route, I would get a second exit, probably with a party ball or an energy element. So let's go through the stage again and see what the second pad has to offer. I don't think a jump cut is really necessary here because the stage is so short, and I can easily get back to there. But as I said, I really like the fact that we have multiple colored enemies being used in tandem, as well as the sprites, or objects. Only thing I'm going to complain about a little bit is the odd usage of the backgrounds. It feels like the transition from area to area feels a bit off. It doesn't feel exactly jointed. It feels a little bit disjointed, is what I'm saying. Oh, and apparently you can ignore those. That's neat. I guess that's what the ladder on the other side is supposed to be for the alternate route. I suppose the second route of completing the stage is where you start out from the base of the tower on the left side and exit the stage at the right base of the tower, or right side of the base of the tower. That's what it seems like. I was worried for a second there that I was gonna fall into spikes or something. Ah, that explains that gap over there. And over here we have unlocked scrolling for some reason. Well, I guess it was mandatory. I was totally expecting there to be an exit on the right side, but instead this entire detour just gives us 2 extra lives, which would be more worthwhile if we actually had a limited life systems, but over here it just feels like a waste of time. I was totally expecting there to be a party ball or an energy element. Oh well, I still like the stage of Industrial Tower, so good job Melvin 8D. Fourth on the lineup is Androids and Despair Redux by Kauslan LR. 18 plays and a score of 4. We have Sparkman, we have the Mega Man 6 Fortress team, or Dr. X team, Charge Kick, and Mega Man 5 or 6 Charge Shot. I can't really distinguish between the Mega Man 5 or 6 Charge Shot until I get hit by something. Because Mega Man 5, the only difference between the Mega Man 5 and 6 Charge Shot from what I know is that in Mega Man 6, if you get hit while charging or holding a charge, you'll lose the charge. Were there poles on the right side? I didn't see the eggs over here. Perhaps there were, but I overlooked it. Hopefully the charge kick isn't mandatory here. Oh. Never mind. It is mandatory here. Okay, so we have some tight precision there, but thank you for putting checkpoints over there. After all, as I said repeatedly, the more difficult the stage is, the more the number of checkpoints there should be. Oh, it is. Never mind, I thought I was... Over there, I thought I was forced to use the charge in order to get up there, but no, I can just wait for the Yoku blocks. The only danger, of course, is this footholder. Not the footholder, those stompers. Big Eyes, sorry. They're called multiple things in different games. Oh no. Well, at least the checkpoint was right over there. Just need to time your slides right. And, get shunted or warped right through the blocks. Gotta be a bit careful with my positioning then, I suppose. Whew, I thought I was not gonna make that one. Where will I be teleported to? Okay, never mind. I thought I was gonna be teleported right into something. It's a charge kick area. Wonderful. And I have to do it precisely. Hold on. Oh, so close. I should have kept moving. I thought I had more time there. Okay, I made it this time. I had to resort to using the level editor because I got too frustrated repeating the challenge over and over. This is another one of those challenge stages, but at least it's not as frustrating as the first one. But like I said, I want to at least get more progress, so might as well actually use the level editor, instead of getting frustrated and stuck in the same levels over and over. I still gave the stage a thumbs up though. And I thought it was going the other way. Oh well, at least it's close enough. And there's always a large weapon energy just in case, if for the scenario that you may run out of it. So good work over there. Oh no. They want me to do the slide jump. With all these spikes and, well, here's the part of the video where I complain about the spike hitboxes being too big in this engine. With that combined with everything else, I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Okay, I made it in somehow. If there's one thing I really thank the developer for adding, it's checkpoints at the beginning of every challenge segment. This stage is so difficult that it's necessary. Oh, that's how you do it. I'm not sure you get to that E-tank, but I don't think it's necessary. I really don't want to end up being telefragged or something. Checkpoint. We have the boss fight coming. I guess something like the checkpoint. Or something like the boss fight. I'm not sure why we need this ladder. I mean this descending elevator. But that's quite a cool tile set you have there. Oh, neat. Okay, the only way we can actually damage Sparkman is by getting on the bottom platforms. One of them. At least I have the ability to charge, otherwise this would be a nightmare. Just make sure not to get knocked off, though. Okay, I guess I have the Mega Man 5 charge shot. That makes it a lot easier, thankfully. Just need to time my jumps properly and I'll be able to do this. After all, I do more damage for my charge shot than he can with his normal shots. Alright, that was the end of Androids and Despair Redux. Pretty nice stage. It was certainly a challenge-based stage focusing on tight sliding. That's why I needed to use the level editor in order to complete it. Specifically, I didn't want to have to repeat this segment over and over because I kept getting engine glitches where I kept warping through the blocks into the spikes. That's why I displaced myself over here and completed the challenge that way. From the rest, the stage was pretty fun. How do you get up here, though? Oh, way back at the beginning of the stage, that's where the pole eggs were coming from. You could go all the way to the right, get over here, and get the M-tank. I wonder though, what's that last... Where is it? Where does this lead up? How do you access this then? Oh, I believe it's the same clipping glitch that allows me to access these, the E-tank and the full health refill. At least that's what I think. Otherwise, good job, level developer. It's certainly not my forte. but it works. And now we're on to the 5th level. Hopefully it's not more of a challenge-based level. I already know what to title this part, that's for sure. 5th level is Drop-In Dynamo by Staffy, 4 plays and a score of 0. Oh neat, Stone Man's team, we haven't heard that for a while. I'm hoping this is more of a traditional Mega Man stage. After the whole bunch of challenge-based levels I've played in this part, I've gotten quite tired. Well, I only played 2 challenge-based levels, but even then that's tuckered me out. I'm not sure what the Dynamo is for, but oh well. What could be up here? Oh, nothing. Those bikes are just there for show. And giving me the Flash Stopper makes the stage a lot easier. No need to worry about most of these enemies. Even though there's a lot more enemies, it's more manageable. Especially with all the special weapons I have. Oh, if I was on the right side over there, I would have died. Kind of a jerk move, but at least the checkpoint or start of the stage isn't too far. No, I have to wait for that. Rush Jet is too big for me to fit in there. And there's the checkpoint. Just damage boost off of everything because my health is high enough. After all, I'm more inclined to damage boost in this game because I have infinite lives. If I didn't have infinite lives, I'll be more disinclined to using damage boosting strats, because then I have to worry about restarting the whole stage, instead of just restarting at the last checkpoint. Wonder what's up there. Okay, that's a little bit odd checkpoint placement, but I suppose it's in a safer environment, so it's necessary. Some of the objects in this stage feel randomly placed, but at least it's mostly a cohesive traditional Mega Man stage. Okay, that was an odd camera boundary over there. Nah, I don't need D-Tank, I have enough health for that, and I already have a E-Tank. This is a neat battleground. It's certainly an easier one compared to the previous fight, but it's still quite aesthetically interesting to look at. Though the fire bars are not a problem at all for me. Is that his weakness? No, it's the Magnet Missile. It's just that the Rolling Cutter deals so much damage that I thought it was his weakness. And that was the end of Drop-In Dynamo. A relatively straightforward stage, but it was fun. I'd like to escape the Submerged Cavern more. In fact, out of all the levels in this part, Escape the Submerged Cavern is my favorite for sure. An honorable mention goes to Androids in Despair Redux for being a well-designed challenge-based level. It's just that I'm not too skilled enough in order to play through it. Plus, most of my energy has been wear thin due to the icy mountains. Last but not least, it's time for the 6th level of this part. Levels Aren't Easy in Japan by Dubis, 7 plays and a score of 1. I hope it's not another challenge-based level like the Icy Mountains and Androids in Despair was. I would like a more Fortress or traditional level. Oh well. Oh, of course, it's a gimmick-based one. This time focusing on the Charge Kick. I guess we're going down now. Well, Charge Kick and Metal Blade, so we do have that. How do I get it? Oh, those are ladders. I thought those were ceiling tiles based on the way it looks. And we have all those teleporters for some reason. I wonder if they're for show or if they're actually used for something else. Well, this is certainly interesting level architecture. It feels more like it's more done for aesthetic purposes. Something is up there. Yeah, there is. I need to take this route. I somehow managed to dodge all of those, so that's good. Okay then. I guess those teleport me to other parts of the stage that I will be seeing later. I see, those are supposed to be houses of sorts. Oh no, I know what we need to do here. We need to dodge all of these, seals. And here I am completely failing at doing that. Better keep the charge kick handy. At least I have the metal blade in order to defeat them if necessary. So the developer did give me some leeway in that regard. Gotta be a bit careful here with the falling platforms. Thank you for the good checkpoint placement. If there is one common theme or thread between all of the levels that I covered in this part, or sampled, it's that all of them have relatively good checkpoint placement. So it doesn't make it too frustrating to go through. Oh. Okay, I circumvented the challenge completely over there. I guess they want me to go down there, but if you time your jumps correctly, you can make your way above. If they put a ceiling over there, it would have been a lot more difficult. So yeah, I'm pretty much circumventing the entire challenge over here. But of course I need to go down over here because I can't access the teleporter. They did cover the cheese in that regard. Whoops, I should have slid over there. No problem, I guess this is going to be more like one of those skill shortcuts. Because over there you're normally supposed to slide or something. Meanwhile, I failed to jump again. Okay, you did this time. You just need to react at just the right time so you don't get crushed. Or whatever happened there. I got crushed by getting shunted. I got shunted to something, then I got crushed. Fast moving objects, I got absorbed into something. I think just staying on it before getting off it would be the best option. Like, just jump on one of them, then get off. That way it's safer and I won't get warped into some object. Oh, that's the right part of the stage. And now we're in the boss fight. Okay, Metal Man. Oh, there's bouncy platforms there. No, he's resistant against his own weapon. Of course he would. Oh, whenever he puts the ceiling I have to be cautious and I can't really attack him, so I need to time my movements correctly so I don't die like what happened there. This is a certainly unique boss fight, because Metal Man will keep bouncing up and down, and based off of the timing, well, he'll constantly be able to dodge my shots. Oh, and I took all those life energies, no wonder this was harder. Or of course, this can happen, where I lock him in position. Oh, ow, that's bad. Please get me out. Thank you. Also, thank you for putting the large life energy in this boss fight. Most other level designers wouldn't do that. Oh, just timing it is a bit of a problem. Apparently, by falling down there with Metal Man, I kinda screwed up the pattern. Oh, and there's a timer at the bottom, on the bottom left and bottom right, which indicates when the middle block will be over there. Neat. Well, this was certainly a fun challenge-based level that focused on using the charge kick, although it wasn't as difficult as Androids in Despair was. But it's fun. It's always nice to have slightly harder challenge-based levels or gimmick-based levels compared to the very hard ones. So good work, Dubis. And the boss fight against the, well, Metal Man down there was pretty fun, especially if you get stuck over there and you're forced to dodge. And I really thank you for putting all those 2 large life energies, because many other level designers wouldn't do that. Well, I guess this is the end of this part. In the next part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more levels from the same thread. Overall, as I said, my favorite part or favorite level of this episode was Escape the Submerged Cavern. Pretty well designed stage, and I really like how it reversed the challenges and gimmicks introduced in the prequel stage, Submerged Cavern. So good work, Lizard Commando. An honorable mention goes to Androids in Despair Redux. Even though I had to use the level editor at the end in order to skip ahead, that was more due to engine issues and me clipping through a lot of objects and instantly getting killed into the spikes. Otherwise, it was a well-designed, spike-based stage, focusing more on charge kicks. The stage I didn't really like about this part was the Icy Mountains. As I've repeatedly said over and over, it really drained my energy in this part and the fun, mainly due to that 2 segments with those precise jumps over those rising and falling platforms, one in the middle of the stage and one right at the end of the stage just before the boss door. That completely killed my fun of the stage and was one of the first stages I gave thumbs down on. Sorry, developer. Use this as a suggestion to improve and make better levels in the future. After all, some of the designers of least favorite levels I've seen in other Mega Man fan games went on to create much better levels in the future. Don't take my criticism to heart too harshly. Just think of it as a gentle reminder to improve yourself, and maybe in the future you'll be able to make better levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!